Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. And today we got an unpopular notes video that says the darkest moments of US presidents. I have a feeling these won't be as bad as they think they are, but we'll get right into this. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment thing down below. Let's go.
Since the inception of televised broadcasts, US presidents have been under the constant scrutiny of the public eye. Their actions, words, and decisions are captured, dissected, and often become the subjects of heated debates. Today, we're focusing on some of the moments from various presidents' public lives that have been labeled as disturbing or have the potential to be perceived as such. It's essential to clarify that this video is not politically motivated. Our aim is to present a collection of moments that have ignited discussions, debates, and sometimes controversies across different presidencies. We encourage viewers to approach this content with an open mind, focusing on the events themselves rather than any political undertones. With that said,
That won't happen. This is gonna be already a video that's gonna get a bunch of different tones. I would love to have read the comment on this. I got a section of this video. Oh, this video, I bet you had comment galore because a bunch of people can't let their personal feelings aside as you're not able to do that this day and age. We all just gotta have our opinion, our opinions only. Can't listen to anyone else. It's really annoying.
let's delve into some of the most talked about and potentially disturbing moments of US presidential history. Biden's "poor kids" comment. During an event for mostly Asian and Hispanic voters, Joe Biden made a statement that raised eyebrows.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
He said poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. He quickly tried to clarify.
It's a minute in, and I already am in disbelief of the stupidity of this guy. How in one this took 5 seconds, not even, for me to want to smack this dude up the side of the head as hard as I can. What stupid ass says that line? How stupid are you to say that? Do you understand how stupid you gotta be to say this line? Poor kids are just as bright as white kids. Your stupid ass. Did you think when you said that? You just think that was stupid as hell. My man's stupid as hell. Stupid.
Clarify by adding wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids, emphasizing that children from all backgrounds are capable and talented.
Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
The comment was part of a broader discussion about the potential of children regardless of their socioeconomic status.
But it was such a stupid line. Why did you word it like that? Why did you word it like that? See, that's one of them lines that would get taken out of context. I mean, still, it's a stupid way to word it. You should have worded that better.
Trump's intense rally moment. In the heat of the 20...
What you should have said. I'll get to him. Trust me. Everyone wants to leave my political things aside. Ain't happening here. Back to the Biden one. This was such an easy line to say, and it's the word wealthy. Poor kids are just thing as any wealthy white kid, black kid, Asian kid. The word wealthy would clarify that whole thing up.
2016 presidential campaign, rallies were often charged with emotion and unexpected incidents. One such moment occurred when a protester, wearing a t-shirt proclaiming KKK...
Oh my god! There is a guy, this guy is wearing a t-shirt that says the KKK endorses Trump. Oh my god, he probably invited him on stage, this stupid. What'd you do? What'd he do? Oh shit.
K endorses Trump caught the attention of then candidate Donald Trump. The video captures a palpable tension as Trump locks eyes with a protester, both seemingly unyielding. It's a brief but intense standoff, emblematic of the polarized atmosphere of the time. How did you interpret this moment?
I haven't seen the follow-up was he got to stay, which told me everything I needed to say. That told me everything I needed to say right there.
Biden's UN stage linger.
What?
At the Global Fund Conference in New York, a video emerged showing President Joe Biden appearing to be momentarily uncertain about his next move after delivering his speech. As he stepped away from the podium, he paused on stage, turning around when following the speaker mentioned his name. This video shared by RNC Research on Twitter added to ongoing discussions about Biden's public appearances. While some critics use this as an opportunity to question his mental well-being,
Feeble man without a clue. He has lied and been corrupt his whole life, and the whole world is laughing at us. You would think, given the countless times Biden has gone confused and lost after speeches, that his handlers, the ones really running our country, would have somebody ready to guide him off stage. This literally happens every freaking time. He's lost. Shame on me. Shame on me. Ugh, so controlled by other people. He knows if he doesn't do it right, he's in trouble. Leader of the free world.
others pointed out that the video was
Have you ever tried to leave a stage that you're not familiar with bright lights in your eyes? Yeah, me neither. The whole video looks quite a bit different. He's so much sharper than 45 ever was. At the end, he apparently thought he was done, but then had to linger until they called him and the others back up for a photo.
was taken out of context. Moments after this clip, Biden and other world leaders were called out for a group photo, providing context for his brief pause on stage. Such moments, though brief, often spark debates about the president's mental state.
Well, man, just get down. I just still said. I mean, it looks hilarious. I'm not even gonna be like insulting him. It just looks hilarious. He just like, wait, do I sit? Do I go down? Do I stay here until the call for the phone? Do I go over there? Where am I going? He just holding him. He turned around. He's like, what y'all do? What? You hear me? What are you doing? It is funny. I don't think the guy has any mental things. I don't think he's like mentally not okay. Like he's not whatever. I think he's fine for now. This is just funny.
Is it a genuine concern or just a fleeting moment taken out of context? Share your thoughts. Bush's shoe dodging incident. In a moment that quickly became
Oh, I've seen this clip before. This clip was seen. I don't know the last time I saw it, but I did see it recently.
infamous, U.S. President George W. Bush Jr. faced an unexpected challenge during a press conference in Iraq. An Iraqi journalist, Muntasir al-Zaidi, hurled his shoes at the president in a gesture of protest. In many Middle Eastern cultures, throwing shoes is considered a strong expression of disrespect. Bush's quick reflexes allowed him to dodge the shoes, and he later laughed off the incident. However, the event highlighted the tensions and sentiments against the U.S. president in Iraq at the time. Reagan assassination attempt. On March 30th, 1981, a chilling event unfolded outside the Washington Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C. President Ronald Reagan, having just delivered a speech, was leaving the venue when he and 3 others were shot by John Hinckley Jr. The motivation behind the assassination attempt was Hinckley's obsession with actress Jodie Foster. The swift response of the Secret Service was evident as they
Hold on, wait a minute, hold on, I need context here. Why would he go after the president because of his obsession with an actress? Was the actress and the president like a thing? How does one context lead to the other?
shielded the president and rushed him to safety. Reagan was seriously wounded but made a full recovery. The incident led to significant security improvements, including the introduction of metal detectors for screening potential threats. The very idea that a sitting US president could be targeted in broad daylight was deeply disturbing and showcased the ever-present dangers faced by world leaders. Biden's ice cream detour. During an event in Tulsa, Oklahoma, commemorating the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre, President Joe Biden made an unexpected move before delivering his speech. As he took to the stage, Biden said, "I've got to make one check," and proceeded to leave the stage momentarily. He approached 2 young girls sitting with their mothers, spoke to them briefly, and then returned to the stage. Upon his return, he explained to the audience, "I just had to make sure 2 girls got ice cream when this is over," which was met with laughter from the attendees.
I just had to make sure the 2 girls got ice cream when this is over.
This incident was captured by audience members on their cell phones. Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Terrence Williams, a known supporter of former President Donald Trump, shared the video on Twitter. He described it as disturbing and called for Biden's impeachment, although this sentiment was not widely.
I would agree. What the fuck are you on about? That is disturbing. Do you know the things I have seen people do that are actually disturbing? That is about the least disturbing thing I've ever seen. Now listen, I've seen some people thing, but like I've seen people do some weird shit. That is nothing.
They shared. Bush's 9/11 address from Sarasota School. On the morning of September 11, 2001, then
This one's I've seen also. This is when he's reading at a school, and someone whispers into his ear, and his mood just changes, because he's just been told about the 9/11 attack. But he made sure to stay calm. He just finished what he was doing, and went about his business. But you could see his mood has changed.
President George W. Bush Jr. was visiting the Emma E. Booker Elementary School in Sarasota, Florida. During his visit, he was informed of the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center. In a somber and unexpected turn of events, Bush addressed the nation from the school, confirming the attacks and expressing his condolences to the victims and their families.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
The gravity of the situation was evident in his demeanor, and the juxtaposition of such a grave announcement in an elementary school setting added to the surreal and disturbing nature of the day. The president's commitment to hunting down those responsible and his call for a moment of silence were poignant reminders of the magnitude of the tragedy.
Okay, so they showed the actual thing. I misunderstood. I misknew what they were showing, because I actually thought they were showing, but there was a video of him, and when he's told, and you see his mood change in an instant. But no, they showed him confirming it afterwards and talk about it afterwards on TV. That's fair.
Biden's stage confusion. After delivering a speech about the nation's ongoing supply chain crisis, a video captured US President Joe Biden appearing to be disoriented on stage. At the end of his speech, he seemed to be looking to shake someone's hand, but ended up shaking hands with thin air. The scene was described as disturbing by GT Communications' Gemma Tognini during a discussion on Sky News Australia. She emphasized that she wasn't diagnosing Biden, but noted the importance of having a staffer nearby to help him in such situations.
My late grandmother had dementia. I'm not diagnosing the bloke, but I've seen what.
No, I don't want to mock him either. The point is
I'm
that
not. I'm absolutely
yeah.
not. That's disturbing, and you don't put someone who's potentially vulnerable in that position. As you say, you have a minder behind him going, "This way, Mr. President. This, step down." There. He's turned around and shaking hands with thin air.
Trump
I thought he gets up and just goes, "Hey, how's it?" Oh, just me. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna see multiple things of Biden being confused here.
brushed off stage by Secret Service. During a rally in Nevada, Donald Trump experienced a startling interruption when he was suddenly rushed off stage by the Secret Service. The swift action was in response to suspicions that an individual in the crowd might be armed. The entire venue was filled with palpable tension as attendees tried to comprehend the unfolding situation. While the detained individual was ultimately found not to have a gun, the incident served as a stark reminder of the potential dangers political figures face, even within seemingly secure environments.
Trump can say whatever. I am surprised no one has ever tried to assassinate his ass. I am surprised no one ever tried. Because if there was a president that pissed a lot of people off, it's Trump.
Bush announces strikes in Afghanistan. On October 7, 2001, less than a month after the tragic 9/11 attacks, Bush Jr. addressed the nation to announce the commencement of U.S. military strikes on al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and Taliban military installments in Afghanistan.
On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan.
This marked the beginning of a nearly 20-year war in the region, which would result in the loss of thousands of lives. In his address, Bush emphasized the broader scope of the battle, stating, "Today we focus on Afghanistan, but the battle is broader." He further warned nations against sponsoring terrorists, indicating that they would face consequences for such actions. The gravity of the situation and the implications of the announcement made it a deeply unsettling moment, signaling the start of a prolonged conflict. Biden's UN speech missteps. During an address to the United Nations General Assembly, President Joe Biden faced criticism for his...
This is the fourth time we've seen him? Joe, my man, you are the cause of everything here. We've seen him once here, that's twice. This is 3 times. 4. This is the 5th time we have seen Biden already in 8 minutes. God!
There's apparent difficulty in delivering a coherent speech. An 83-second compilation video posted by Real America's Voice on Twitter showcased Biden's moments of confusion and incoherence during the speech. While the video is a compilation and not a continuous 83 seconds of gaffes, it highlights several instances from a single speech where Biden seemed to struggle.
And building back better from the borderless climate crisis, from the United States and from other donors, working with countries, technologies that reduce the risk.
Beyond his delivery, the content of Biden's speech also drew criticism, particularly his emphasis on international diplomacy, which some view as a departure from former President Donald Trump's America First policy. Biden's recent
That's not a... No! You see, Look, I'm not a political guy. Okay? I hate all politicians. Every single one. There's never been a politician I've liked. I hate all politicians. Because they're all liars. Everyone. You will not tell me one single politician who's never lied. None. None. Because you can't even, like, even Trump supporters, you can't even tell me that because there's clear evidence of him lying. The man, all of them, they all lie. So I can't be surprised, and since none of us have ever the same thought process, there will never be a single solitary president who won't be hated by people and criticized for everything they do.
Some foreign policy decisions, such as the situation in Afghanistan and tensions with France, were also mentioned as points of contention.
The bitter sting of terrorism is real. The United States is committed to using our resources. When the earthquake strikes, we're fighting between warring parties, horrific violence, and a belief in the universe when it occurs whether it occurs LGBTQ.
My man, drink some water. You're dehydrated, you're not working, you need water. Drink some water.
Bye.
Trump's security scare. During a 2016 campaign event in Ohio, then presidential candidate Donald Trump experienced a security scare. The video captures a moment when Trump is visibly startled by a protester, prompting his security detail to swiftly surround and shield him. The quick response of the security team underscores the heightened tensions and unpredictable nature of political rallies, especially during a contentious election cycle. While the situation was quickly diffused, the incident served as a stark reminder of the potential threats faced by high-profile figures on the campaign trail.
What did the guy do? The protester. What did you do that scared the out of Trump so much?
Biden's Syria-Libya mix-up. During a press conference, President Joe Biden mistakenly referred
I'm pretty sure there's about 6 now. This is the 6th time we've seen him.
to Syria as Libya 3 times when discussing issues concerning Russian President Vladimir Putin.
We could work together with Russia, for example, in Libya.
The White House later confirmed that Biden intended to say Syria and not Libya. This mix-up was highlighted in a video posted by RNC Research on Twitter, showcasing Biden's confusion during his speech.
Yeah, that's not a mix-up you want to be making. That is not a mix-up you want to be making.
Biden's G7 summit misstep.
I'm gonna double check. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be 7. 7 times Joe Biden has been on here for missteps and
During the G7 summit in England, a moment captured attention when Joe Biden seemed momentarily disoriented. As a female reporter inquired about how his meetings were progressing, Biden paused and turned to ask her to repeat her question. Jill Biden, noticing the situation, quickly approached her husband, gesturing for him to come along and saying, "Come on."
Very well. Come on.
She then took his hand and led him away from the scene. The brief episode raised concerns among some viewers as such moments of apparent confusion can be unsettling, especially when observed in a world leader. Trump, Epstein, and the shadows of controversy.
Come on in. Go inside.
In 1992, Donald Trump and financier Jeffrey Epstein were captured on video at Mar-a-Lago enjoying a party together. The footage reveals Trump pointing out women dancing and sharing a seemingly friendly rapport with Epstein. This video gained renewed attention in light of Epstein's subsequent legal troubles and allegations of sexual misconduct. Ghislaine Maxwell, a close associate, was recently convicted of grooming minors for Epstein's abuse. Additionally, the tragic death of Carolyn Andriano, an Epstein victim who testified against Maxwell, has added another layer of complexity to the narrative. While Trump has tried to distance himself from Epstein in recent years, this video serves as a reminder of their past association. Biden faces Tara Reade's allegations.
8.
In the midst of the 2020 presidential campaign, Joe Biden found himself at the center of a storm. Tara Reade, a former junior staffer in Biden's Senate office, came forward with allegations of sexual assault from 1993. She claimed the incident took place in a Capitol Hill office building when she was a staff assistant. This wasn't the first time Biden faced scrutiny over his interactions with women, but Reade's allegations were notably more severe. A detailed account of Reade's claims can be seen in a video that emphasizes the gravity of the allegations and the subsequent reactions.
It shattered my life and changed the trajectory of my whole career in life. And I lost my job after I complained, and I was fired. They can try to strip away everything about me, but they won't take my dignity, and they won't get my silence.
As the story gained traction, Biden responded in an interview where he firmly denied any wrongdoing. His response, captured in a video, also highlights the media's role in covering the story and the challenges of addressing such serious claims in the public eye.
And I really believed he was someone to not only admire, but also I wanted to be like him. Like I had hoped to be maybe a senator or a congressperson someday.
You sound really happy.
Yeah.
There's my computer, and there's my posters.
I was such like a little puppy, like so eager and happy. Yeah. He would just put his hands on me. He would, whenever there was a meeting or if I would see him, usually he'd put his hand on his shoulder and then he'd run his fingers up underneath my hair, on my neck, and things like that. And I had never experienced that with a boss before, and I didn't know him. It's not like there was like small talk, like where we would, you know what I'm saying? There was no reciprocal relationship or flirtation. There was nothing like that. So it was just very much him coming into a room, putting his hand on me, or whatever.
The broader implications of the allegations were discussed in various media outlets, pondering the potential impact on Biden's presidential campaign and the importance of addressing such claims in a balanced manner. Another video delves into this aspect, discussing the potential ramifications of the allegations on the political landscape.
So, the former Senate aide accuses you of sexual assault, and please, to our viewers, please excuse the graphic nature of this, but I want to make sure that there is no question as to what we're talking about. Would you please go on the record with the American people? Did you sexually assault Tara Reade?
No, it is not true. I'm saying unequivocally, it never happened. And it didn't. It never happened.
Do you remember her? Do you remember any types of complaints that she might have made?
I don't remember any type of complaint she may have made. It was 27 years ago, and I don't remember, nor does anyone else that I'm aware of. And the fact is that I don't remember. I don't remember any complaint ever having been made.
The controversy was widely covered, with some outlets emphasizing the need for a thorough investigation, while others pointed to inconsistencies in Reade's account. For those interested in a deeper dive, several articles, including coverage from the BBC, CNN, Forbes, and Wikipedia, provide detailed timelines and analysis. Biden.
Yeah, this video is just Joe Biden. This video is targeted for Joe. I know you say this is a political movement. I don't think it is in popular notes, but Jesus, I've never seen Joe Biden talked about more in this video than I've seen at all in my life. But I ain't gonna talk about the last one. I can't say anything here.
Biden's whispered comment. During an interaction caught on camera, President Joe Biden was seen leaning in to whisper something to a young girl. The video captures Biden saying, "Don't tell mommy," after his whispered comment.
Don't tell mommy what I told you.
From the video, it's evident that the girl appears uncomfortable or uneasy during the interaction. This incident was shared on Twitter and quickly gained traction, where many expressed concerns and criticisms about the president's behavior. The context of the interaction in the preceding conversation is not entirely clear from the video alone. However, such moments, especially when taken out of context, can fuel debates and discussions about the appropriateness of a public figure's actions. For many, this kind of behavior can be perceived as extremely disturbing, raising questions about boundaries and the nature of interactions between adults and children.
Yeah, I'll admit that came off weird. I don't like that at all.
Trump's defamation case, controversy, and verdict. In a legal battle that captured significant media attention, former President Donald Trump was embroiled in a defamation case with writer E. Jean Carroll. Carroll's allegations stemmed from an incident she claimed took place in the mid-1990s, which Trump vehemently denied. This denial, coupled with subsequent remarks about Carroll, led to the defamation suit. During the deposition for the case, Trump's comments became a significant point of contention. He made remarks about the nature of stardom and its implications, suggesting that celebrities have historically been afforded certain privileges.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the...
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
The case's culmination was marked by a verdict that found Trump liable for both sexual abuse and defamation. While not all of Carroll's claims were upheld, the jury awarded her $5 million in damages. The verdict was not just a legal decision, but also a moment that resonated with many, especially in the context of the broader #MeToo movement. Carroll's reaction to the verdict emphasized the importance of believing survivors and the broader implications of the case.
I'm overwhelmed with joy and happiness and delight for the women in this country.
Biden's July 4th staged behavior. During the 4th of July celebration at the White House, a video surfaced on social media that raised concerns about President Biden's mental acuity.
This has to be at least 10. The 10th time he's been here.
Biden's seen wandering on stage, seemingly lost and engaging in conversations with imaginary individuals.
Where is he? I don't know, man. I want to say hi to him.
This behavior led to speculations about potential effects of dementia on the 80-year-old leader. This video has sparked widespread discussions, with many debating the implications of such behavior from a sitting president. Once again, the president's mental state became a topic of discussion, highlighting the recurring concerns shared by some segments of the public.
Does he get checked by a doctor? Like, they ever checked him for dementia? I'm actually curious, because if they have and he's fine, then... I know I'm not pausing this a lot, I'm kind of letting them go, but this is 11. I just find it weird.
Biden's tactile politics. Former Vice President Joe Biden has faced criticism for his tactile approach to politics. A video compilation showcases several instances during mock swearing ceremonies where Biden's physical interactions, particularly with younger individuals, are on full display.
Bring the whole family up. Come on.
The video raises questions about whether Biden's touchiness is out of touch or simply a reflection of his personality. Bush announces Iraq War. In a solemn address from the Oval Office, President George W. Bush Jr. announced the commencement of a military action in Iraq, marking the beginning of Operation Iraqi Freedom. In his speech, Bush emphasized the goal of disarming Iraq and liberating its people from the regime of Saddam Hussein. He highlighted the coalition of more than 35 countries supporting the military effort and assured the American public that every effort would be made to spare innocent civilians. The president's decision in the subsequent military campaign became a defining moment of his presidency, sparking widespread debate and discussions about the reasons for and the consequences of the war. Biden's creepy remark. Sky News host James Morrow highlights a moment during a speech by President Joe Biden where he greeted an audience member, mentioning their past connection when she was 12, I was 30.
We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
The comment, when taken out of context, was labeled as potentially creepy and raised eyebrows given Biden's history of close physical interactions in public settings.
Everything works when it's out of context, right? You could take almost anything out of context and turn it evil and dark.
Obama announces bin Laden's death. In a significant moment during his presidency, Barack Obama addressed to the nation.
Okay, this is gonna sound stupid. When I think of Osama bin Laden's death, I don't think of Barack Obama announcing it. In WWE, they had John Cena randomly out of nowhere after winning at a pay-per-view, announced the death of Osama bin Laden, and it threw me so off when I saw it. It throws me off now. Still don't get it. But yeah, he probably told more people than John Cena did. That always makes me laugh when I think about it.
To announce the death of Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the 9/11 attacks.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
The president detailed the operation carried out by a small team of Americans in Abbottabad, emphasizing the precision and care taken to avoid civilian casualties. He recounted the horrors of 9/11, the unity of the American people in its aftermath, and the relentless pursuit of justice that led to this moment. Obama's announcement marked the end of a decades-long manhunt and was pivotal moments in the fight against global terrorism. Biden's nibbling incident. Sky News Australia reports on...
I'm done with Joe Biden. I'm actually done with this guy. This guy has to be the weirdest president I've ever seen. I have never seen a guy who, in the span of one video, I have just gone from he's just a weird old man to like he's kind of... There might be another messed up part to him. I have never seen a guy who's been on here for just weirdest things.
On an incident where President Joe Biden appears to be nibbling on a child's shoulder. The host comments on Biden's history of close physical interactions, especially with younger individuals, and suggests such behavior might be seen as inappropriate. Trump's controversial remark. In a 2006 episode of The View, Donald Trump made a remark about his daughter Ivanka that raised many eyebrows.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
During the conversation, Trump stated, "If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her." The comment was met with a mix of laughter and shock from the co-hosts. Joe Behar quickly retorted, "Who are you, Woody Allen?"
Who are you, Woody Allen?
The remark, while made in jest, has since been a point of contention and discussion, especially given the context of public figures and their relationships with family members. Biden's touching joke. During a public appearance, Joe Biden made a joke about having a child's permission to touch him. This comment came in the wake of allegations from several women who claimed that Biden's physical behavior made them uncomfortable. The video captures this moment and the subsequent reactions.
By the way, he gave me permission to touch him. All right?
Biden's "no serious guys" remark.
Okay. I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm gonna be sad most. When him's on the screen, I'm gonna be saying nothing.
Oh no, he's done it again.
During an interaction caught on camera, President Joe Biden is seen placing his hands on the shoulders of a young girl, telling her, "Now a very important thing I told my daughter and granddaughters, no serious guys till you're 30.
No serious guys till you're 30.
The comment, along with the physical interaction, was highlighted by Sky News host Rita Panahi, who described it as Biden getting into a young girl's personal space and advising her on her romantic life. The video also showcases previous instances where Biden's tactile behavior has been under scrutiny, emphasizing that such interactions are not new for the president. The media includes...
Yeah, that girl looks so uncomfortable. My man, if someone came that close to me, I'm headbutting them. If Joe Biden did that, I'd headbutt him in a sec. He'd be headbutted so quickly, I would end up in jail. But if you get that close to me, you will get headbutted.
Including outlets like CNN, have previously reported on Biden's handsy moments, raising questions about an appropriateness of his actions. Historic meeting, Trump and Kim Jong-un. In a moment that was both historic and unsettling, Donald Trump became the first sitting US president to step foot in North Korea. Meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un at the demilitarized zone, the two leaders exchanged pleasantries and shook hands. The significance of this event cannot be understated, given the long-standing tensions between the two nations. While the meeting was framed as a step towards peace and diplomacy, the unpredictable nature of North Korea's regime and its nuclear ambitions made the encounter a tense and potentially volatile one. The sight of a US president standing side by side with a leader known for human rights abuses and nuclear threats was both groundbreaking and deeply unsettling for many observers. Biden's ice cream comment. During a White House event, President Joe Biden made the off-the-cuff remarks about children and ice cream, saying, "Daddy owes you," and mentioning that he knows really great ice cream places.
I know some really great ice cream places around here. and Daddy owes you. Okay? So talk to me afterwards.
The comment was highlighted by Sky News Australia, which described the president's remarks as creepy. The video showcases this particular moment, emphasizing the reactions and discussions it sparked online. Critics have pointed out that such comments, especially when directed towards children, can be perceived as inappropriate or unsettling.
He's getting weird. I will admit, every time I started as just delusional man, but every single time this guy gets creepier and creepier to me. I wish I never saw these. These are really weird.
Bush's senior vomiting incident. In a moment that was both embarrassing and concerning, US President George Bush Sr. was caught on camera fainting and vomiting during a banquet hosted by Prime Minister of Japan, Kiichi Miyazawa. The incident took place on January 8th of '92 and was widely broadcasted, leading to discussions about the president's health and well-being. The sight of a US president in such a vulnerable state on an international stage was deeply unsettling. The event highlighted the pressures and strains of the presidency and the unpredictable nature of live events. Biden's awkward kiss. In a video clip from an event, then presidency and the unpredictable scene.
No, I saw this. I don't want to see this again. Yep, this guy was too weird. I haven't seen that again.
Clinton questioned about Epstein ties. In a moment that quickly went viral, former President Bill Clinton was confronted by a journalist regarding his alleged connections with the late Jeffrey Epstein. The incident took place at a political rally for Democratic Representative Henry Cuellar in Laredo, Texas. As Clinton was shaking hands with attendees, Juan Mendoza, a journalist with Real America's Voice, asked him about his alleged ties to Epstein. Clinton, seemingly caught off guard, leaned forward to hear the question, then stepped back with a smile, not offering a direct response. The lack of a clear answer and the nature of the question itself, given Epstein's controversial history, made the encounter particularly unsettling for some viewers. Biden's whispered Q&A. During an impromptu press conference at the White House, President Joe Biden drew attention for his unusual delivery style. On multiple occasions, Biden leaned over to his lectern and whispered forcefully to reporters. This approach seemed to be his way of emphasizing certain points, especially when discussing a $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure deal. One notable whisper was in response to a question about relief for families, where Biden whispered, "I got them $1.9 trillion in relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week for childcare."
I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week for childcare.
The repeated whispering led to bemused reactions on social media, with many labeling the exchanges as really creepy.
Creepy is not the word. Unhinged. That just seems like some unhinged stuff right there. That is the definition of unhinged.
Roosevelt's declaration of war on Japan. On December 8, 1941, a day after the devastating attack on Pearl Harbor, President Franklin D. Roosevelt addressed the nation in Congress, declaring war on Japan. The president expressed his confidence in the American armed forces and the determination of the American people to overcome this challenge. The gravity of the situation, combined with Roosevelt's solemn tone, made this a deeply unsettling moment in history, marking the U.S.'s entry into World War II. Bush's ultimatum to Saddam Hussein. In a decisive intention-filled address to the nation on March 17, 2003, President George Bush Jr. issued an ultimatum to Saddam Hussein, the then leader of Iraq. Bush detailed the prolonged efforts of the U.S. and other United Nations to disarm Iraq peacefully, emphasizing the regime's consistent defiance of UN Security Council resolutions.
For more than a decade, the United States and other nations have pursued patient and honorable efforts to disarm the Iraqi regime without war.
He highlighted the threats posed by Iraq's possession of weapons of mass destruction and its ties to terrorists, including al-Qaeda operatives.
That the Iraqi regime continues to possess and conceal some of the most lethal weapons ever devised.
The president made it clear that the time for diplomacy had ended and the moment for action had arrived. The gravity of the situation was palpable as Bush's words signaled the imminent onset of the Iraq War, a conflict that would have profound implications for the Middle East and the world. Biden's UN stage missteps. During a joint presentation at the UN with Brazil's Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, President Joe Biden had a series of...
You want to try that again? You want to tell me what? You want to repeat that again?
Biden's UN stage missteps. During a joint presentation at the UN with Brazil's Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, President...
I will give you credit for being able to say that. I'd mess that up to an extent I'd offend humans with that. I'd offend them all.
Joe Biden had a series of awkward moments. The video captures Biden shuffling into a 7-foot Brazilian flag, causing it to teeter slightly as he approached the podium. Additionally, after the joint speech, Biden appeared to wander off the stage without shaking hands with Lula, leaving the Brazilian leader visibly irritated. Such moments, while seemingly minor, can become focal points of discussion, especially when they involve interactions between world leaders on a global stage. Bush Sr. announces Persian Gulf War. On January 16, 1991, President George H.W. Bush addressed the nation to announce the commencement of military operations against Iraq, marking the beginning of the Persian Gulf War.
When the dictator of Iraq invaded a small and helpless neighbor, Kuwait, a member of the Arab League and a member of the United Nations, was crushed.
In his speech, Bush detailed the reasons for the conflict, emphasizing Iraq's invasion of Kuwait and the subsequent brutalities inflicted upon the Kuwaiti people. He highlighted the exhaustive diplomatic efforts made by the United Nations and the U.S. to resolve the crisis peacefully, all of which were rebuffed by Saddam Hussein.
5 months ago, Saddam Hussein started this cruel war against Kuwait. Tonight, the battle has been joined.
The president's address was a somber reminder of the complexities of international relations and the heavy responsibilities shouldered by world leaders. The decision to go to war, especially after exhausting all diplomatic avenues, was a deeply unsettling moment, underscoring the gravity of the situation and the potential consequences of the conflict.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this reaction video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all for the next one.